Hi everyone, this video we are going to discuss the WA1 solutions to the paper 2021. Now before we begin, let's take some time to celebrate the success of some of our friends in the class who has achieved the top 3 in results for this WA1. Congratulations Raphael, Vigastri and Ian. They are not in any particular order, okay, so doesn't mean that the first person's name is the top first, okay. Keep up the good work. So to friends who would like to get help for mathematics, these are the people you can also look out for. Alright, now with your green pen ready, there's something that I want to mention about the video today. If you would like the learning to go deeper, in fact, I would suggest you watching the video one round and then do the corrections on your own so that you can actually practice what you have just learned instead of just copying directly from the video. Alright, that will benefit your learning better. So we go on to question number 1. 5,903,020 in numerals. So we revise what we have learned about our place values. Alright, so a million would be, we are looking at 7 digits starting from the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and of course the million. So 5 million is just here. 903,000 would be this. 20, it's just 20. Right, so anything that doesn't fill up any space would be just a 0. So the answer 5,903 space 020. Alright, so just remember the spaces after every 3 digits starting from the right. Okay, question number 2, 6, 7 as a decimal. So if you recall, primary 4 way would be, we would try to change the denominator into either a 10, 100 or 1,000. But the digit 7, it's a very special case where you can't change it to any of the decimal in 10, 100 or 1,000. So the P5 way taught you that 6 over 7 is the same as 6 divided by 7, right? So 6 divided by 7 would mean that 6 came first, 7 on the outside. So that's how we can do the division to also arrive at our decimal. Alright, so let's do the division from here. We will do our 6 divided by 7. So obviously we can't divide anything, so we have a 0 here, which will leave us with decimal 60. 60 tenth, so this would be 8 because 56 is the closest. And we continue the division, 35. We continue the division, we will have 857. Okay, so we can stop already because we needed just 2 decimal places. So the answer 0.857 of course is not in the 2 decimal places, right? So we will need to try to see whether we should round this number up or round back. So for us to do that, we have to look at the digit behind. It is 7. So the decision shall be, we are going to round the digit 5 upwards. So this will be the answer, 0.86. A few of you are still reversing your division. That means you still do not understand whether 6 should go in or should go out. So, like I said in class, first come, first serve. You read from the left to right. 6 came first. 6 should go into the shelter first, especially if it's raining. So 6 has to be on the inside. Question number 3. 302,000 divided by 50. So we can cancel out a pair of 0 first, which will leave us with 302,000 divided by 5. Alright, so in this case, there's no more zeros to cancel. We have no choice but to do a division. So in this case, it will be 30. When you bring down, you can't divide, so that is nothing. Bring down another 0, that is 4. Okay. When you bring down another 0, you can't divide, so you still have to put a 0. Okay, so 6,040. Now just remember, in case you want to be very sure your answers are correct, you can always do a check. Would mean that you want to check whether 6,040 is the correct answer. You reverse back by multiplying. So you will get 30200 back. Okay, so that is for checking your answer, if you want to be very sure if you got it right. Okay, next, I move on to question number 4. 8 students share 6 chicken pies. So the question would be, is it 8 divided by 6 or 6 divided by 8? So in this case, we read the English. Divide means share with, right? So when we read the statement, are we reading 8 students share with 6 chicken, or 6 chicken pie share with 8 people? Alright, in this case, this makes more sense. 6 pies to share with 8 students. So 6 divided by 8 is the same as 6 over 8. Alright, simplest form, we divide it by 2, you get 3/4. So each student gets 3/4 of a chicken pie. Question number 5. 29 times 6, 7. Going by the cancellation method. So we are trying to cancel out 9 and 6 to simpler form. Divided by 3. Divided by 3, we get 3 here. So 2 times 2 over 3 times 7 would be 421, right? 7 times 3 is 21. So the answer is 421. Question number 6. Find the value of this order of operation. So we have a bracket, and inside a bracket there is a hidden king here. Alright, so we do the 5 times 2 first, because multiplication is like the bigger boss than minus, right? Queen rather than the prince. So the rest we just copy downwards. 12 minus 5 times 2 is 10 plus 9. Alright, so the next one we're going to do, of course, is still the king, because the bracket is still there. 28 divided by 2 plus 9. Now comes the queen and the prince. So we'll do the queen first. The queen, 28 divided by 2. By mental sum, if you can, 14 plus 9. And of course, 14 plus 9 is the last one. 23 is the answer. Okay, question number 7. Julie had $280. That's the total amount she had. She spends 47 of it. So meaning to say she has this amount of money, $280. And it is actually a total of 7 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 parts. So she spent 4 parts of it on a watch. The remaining on shoes. And of course the total, let's label the total, 280. Alright, what is the cost of the shoe? So solving by unitary method, it will be 7 units is equals to 280. Okay, we look for what is 1 unit first. 280 divided by 7, which is 40. And when you find the shoes is just 3 units, right? So we look for 3 units. Is 40 times 3, which will be $120. That's question number 7. Question number 8. Bottles A, B, C contain a total of 567 ml of water. Alright, so we're trying to compare orange juice in B is 3 times in A. So this 3 times refers to bottle B. Bottle B is 3 times. Let's show the 3 times out. 3 times then bottle A. Okay. Now, bottle C had 14 ml lesser than B. So what we're trying to do now is we're trying to look at C, and C is lesser than B by this amount. So we do not know how exactly is the boxes like, but we know that it is shorter by 14. Alright, and the total gives us 567. Alright, now the first step to do this is actually to take 567 plus 14. Do you know why I add the 14? Alright, because when I take the total and I add 14, I'm trying to make this 14 come back alive. So 14 originally was not inside. Now I'm trying to add the 14 in. So now this becomes a full 3 units, just like bottle B. So when I add the 14 back, I'm trying to imagine 14 is inside. Alright, and now bottle C is like 3 units again, just like bottle B. Okay, so that's the purpose why I do that. So 581. Now that they are all together already, the 3 units are also in, you can kind of see this. This is 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 5 unit, 6 unit, 7 unit. The total is now 581. 7 units, 581. Clear so far? So 7 units stands for 581. So what we are trying to do here, of course, we look for what is 1 unit. When we divide it by 7, we will know what is 1 unit. And since they are asking for bottle A, and which is also 1 unit, so isn't that the answer? 83. Okay, question number 9. This is a person who tries to train for a marathon for 3 days. Day 1, day 2, day 3. So he ran 2 kilometers more each day. So let's say you run only 1 box on day 1, which will mean that in day 2, you will be running another 2 more kilometers, right? And then in day 3, what is going to happen? You are still going to run the same as day 1. You run 2 more in day 2, and then another 2 more in day 3. So that's a total of 3 days, and this 3 days is 39. Alright, that's what they mentioned in the story. So let's try to remove all the excess parts first. 39 minus 2, minus 2, minus 2. Alright, let's try to remove away all the parts. So this is 33. Alright, removing all the parts would mean that this is gone. And this is now 33. Okay, can you see how many units there are in 33? Altogether, 3 units. 33. So what was the distance he ran on the first day? That is 1 unit, am I right? So we just have to take 33 divided by 3. You get the answer 11. Okay, question 10, my favorite, because it's about branching. So the branches is going to work this way. Mr. Tan baked some buns, but obviously you don't know how many buns is that. 2/7 of the buns were sold in the morning. So we are going to have 2/7 of the buns, and we're going to call it morning because it's being sold in the morning, right? Now, if you sell 2 parts, which will mean that 5 parts is the remaining, right? Because if you sell 2 parts, the total part is 7. 7 minus 2 is 5. Okay, let me read on the story. 1/5 of the remaining was sold in the afternoon. So we're going to grow the branch again. 1/5 of it, of the remaining, were in the noon. And the rest were unsold. So this is called unsold, but do you know how much is that? It is a total of 4/5. Do you know why 4/5? Because 5/5 minus 1/5 equals to 4/5. Now, they said that there are 180 unsold buns. So this means that this number, unsold, right, is actually a total of 180. The number is mentioned. Now let's trace the branch back to the source, to the roots. This is the whole entire branch. Okay, this is the whole entire branch, and this whole branch is involving two fractions, right? 5/7 and 4/5. Remember what we said about branches? Branches are just multiplication. So let's try to multiply these two fractions together. All right, so let's do a cross cancellation. 4/7. Now, what is the meaning of 4/7? It means that this whole branch is actually just 4/7. All right, and did they say how much is 4/7? They gave a whole number, right? They said that it's 180 buns unsold. So this also tells you that 4 units is equals to 180, because 4 out of 7 is 4 units, right? So 1 unit will be 180 divided by 4, which would be 45. Now, question is, how many buns did he bake at first? That means the total number of units. Do you know how many units of buns did he have in total? It's a total of 7 units. Do you know why? Because 7 is the denominator. So 45 times 7 will get you 315. That's the answer. So that's the powerful thing about branches. All right. Now I move on to question paper 2 already. So if you need time to stop here so that you can do your paper 1 on your own, by all means. All right. I believe this is a very good learning point. You read through this video, then do it on your own. Okay, the same we're going to do it for paper 2. All right, now paper 2, usually paper 2 begins with an easy question first. Question number 1. Supermarket sells different brands of rice. Brand A has 9 kg. So let me list out all the information. Now, let me read on the story. It. What is this it? This refers to brand A, right? Brand A is heavier than brand B. Wow. So brand A is the one that's heavier, right? If brand A is the one that's heavier, then brand B must be lighter. Lighter by 2 whole 3/10. Alright, so this is playing with a little bit of language. They're trying to tell you that A, this brand A, which you can also write, is the one that's heavier. Brand B is the one that's lighter. So lighter means we minus. So we get 6 whole 7/10. Okay, now brand A is lighter than C. So that means to say if you want to find C, C must be the one that's heavier, right? It's heavier than A by 1 whole 1/4. Brand C is the one that's heavier. Brand A is lighter. So since you have a calculator, right? So our mental sum is fine also. So what are the 3 numbers? For A is 9. For B is this. For C is this. So I circle the 3 numbers because these are the 3 numbers that I need to work out. Alright, so mass of brand B, easy already. So you get this. As of the tests, I think there is a person, only one person in the class who has forgotten to write the units. Alright, so I kept emphasizing on writing the units, kg, grams, milliliters, and so on. Okay, now part B. Susan bought 2 packets of brand A. 2 packets of brand A. So 2 packets of brand A will be 9 times 2, right? Because 2 packets, each packet 9 kg. She brought 1 packet of brand C. Brand C is how much? 10 whole 1/4, right? So if I add these 2 packets of A and the packet of C, I will get the final answer already. Okay, bear in mind, calculators are allowed. So if you can't mental sum, you can actually do a calculator. Okay, question number 1 is done. Okay, usually question 1 are usually the ones that you should score as much as you can. Question number 2. This is about before and after. How do I know it's about before and after? Because there's this word at first and there's also this word in the end. So those who came to me the day before the WA, you benefited because you actually asked me how to do the before and after. So very good job, okay? So we start off with the first color, before. Alright, so we have 2 people, Paul and Devi. Before everything, they used to have equal amount of money. This is based on the story. It says both of them have equal amount of money. Okay, So I'm showing equal amount of money here. Now, next, let's change to a different color. And why do I change to a different color? Because now we're going to look at the picture for after they started to play along with their money. What happens? Okay, Paul spent 2,105. So that means to say, Paul spent some money already. He's going to end up with much lesser money now. So probably something shorter than what she has before. So the amount that she spent away is 2,105. Spent away. Okay, so actually what he has now is only this in blue. No longer the one in red. Alright, so that is for Paul. What about Devi? Devi saved another $2,000. Wow, so Devi not only has this amount, so Devi seems to have this amount, and on top of this amount that he didn't spend before, he also saved an additional amount, right? How much is this additional amount? This is another 2,000. Let me draw it longer. Huh? The blue just got longer because he saved some money. Alright, he saved 2,287. Alright, so in the end, Devi had 7 times. So this whole blue color bar is 7 times, 7 units. And Paul, poor thing, only got 1 unit left. Alright, so let's just focus on the blue color bars now. Alright, can you tell that this blue color bar is 1 unit versus 7 units? So there's a difference of how many units? 6 units, right? So Devi is longer than Paul by 6 extra units. Do you know how much is this 6 extra unit? It is made up of 2,105 and 2,287. Alright, those who can't tell, you see this is where 1 unit stops. So this portion here is where the 6 units are. So these 6 units, isn't it made up of this amount, 2,105, as well as 2,287. Okay, so it's made up of these two amounts that makes up the extra difference. So if we add this up, we will be able to know the total for the 6 units. So put it this way, 6 units is 4,392. We find for 1 unit, which is just dividing it by 6. Okay, so now we know 1 unit is 732, right? So this is 732. How much money did Paul have at first? Now, Paul have at first means we want to look at the before, which is in red color. Right? The one in red color. So the one in red color is not just 732, but it is 732 and 2,105. The one that she spent away. Okay? So if we add these two, we will know the total he has at the beginning, which will be $2,837. Okay, which will involve everything of the rate. Alright, so that's question number 2. Question number 3. A factory produced some t-shirts. It sold 1,000 over and the rest were unsold. So again, because of the unsold and sold part, we know this is about remainder, fraction of a remainder. We know that branching can work here. Okay, so 5/9 of the t-shirts were unsold. So 5/9 were unsold. Now, if 5/9 is unsold, do you think you know what is a fraction of the sold? It's 4/9, right? Because 9/9 is one whole. 5/9 is unsold. Of course, 4/9 must be the one that is sold lah. Alright. Now, do we know how much is this in whole number? This is 1,624. So this branch here is 1,624. Alright, so question is, okay, how about let me continue the branch first, alright, before we read the question. The factory donated 310 of the unsold. So out of this unsold, 310 of it is being donated. Now, if you donate 3 parts out of 10 parts donated away, this will leave you with 7 parts out of 10 parts, right? That is in the warehouse remaining, if you call it. Okay, so that's the entire story, all in branches. So question would be, how many t-shirts did the factory produce at first? Now, the only clue that we have seems to be this branch, because this is the only branch that gives us a whole number. How many shirts, right? So can you tell how many units makes up 1,624? It is a total of 4 units. Okay, it's 1,624. Okay, can you tell why is it 4 units? Because 4 9. So 4 units is 1,624. Now 1 unit would be 1,624 divided by 4, which will give you 406. But that's not what they want, right? They want to know how much shirts were there at first. Now, how many shirts were there at first? Must be one whole, 9, 9. 9 parts is the total units. So if we can find what is 9 units, we will be able to know how many shirts there are, which is 3654. So there we have, we came out with the seed. The seed is 3654. Alright, now part B is even easier. Let me use this space here for part B. What fraction, they only asked for fraction, they didn't even ask for the actual number, were kept in the warehouse? Now, where is the branch that kept in the warehouse, that were kept in the warehouse? It is this one, right? The remaining ones were kept in the warehouse, right? So let's trace this branch back to here. Now, do we need to trace back to the seed? We do not need, because they don't even need to know what is the whole number. So you just have to trace out the fraction will do. So this fraction, 5 9, remember the branch is about multiply, 7 10. And because you have a calculator, and that's it, 718 is the answer. Alright, easy peasy, right? With a branching method, it's so easy to come up with a fraction. But of course, if they don't ask for fraction and then they ask for the actual number, then maybe you will need to find out what is this whole branch here. Alright, then you will take 3,654 times 5 9 times 7 10. That's if they ask for the whole number. But here they only want a fraction, so I'm not going to care about the branch, the seed. Okay, question number 4. Okay, we are reaching the end. Question number 4. Joseph spent $403 on some board games and video games. Okay, the board game costs $13. So let me write out all the information. The board game, I put it in short form, costs $13. Now the video game is twice as much. So the video game is more expensive twice, right? 13 times 2 is $26. Alright, he bought 5 more video games than board games. Now, this should give you a clue that this question is about set. You have some set of video game and board game, but not everyone can belong to a set. There will be 5 extra video game. So as to how the set looks like, it is like this. So this is a set of 1 video game and 1 board game. This is one set. You can pair them up in a group. Now, board game, you know that it is $13. So this is 13. Video game is 26. So what does it tell you about one set? It is a total of 13 plus 26 is $39. That is one set. Now, obviously, the person didn't only buy one set. The person can buy as many sets as he wants because he spent so much money. Alright, so there could be a lot of set. There could be a second set. There could be a third set. But the trick is there's 5 video games that couldn't be paired into a set. Why? Because there's 5 more video games. So video game has no set. Poor thing. This doesn't belong to any set. Okay, 5 video game. So he has a lot of $39, $39, $39. He has a lot of one set of this, another set, another set, another set, and then some of it couldn't belong to a set because these are the extras. All right, but the total spent is 403. So this is the meaning of the set, right? So what we could do is let's find out how many sets of video game and board games there are. But for us to do that, let's try to remove all the extra first. These are all the extra things that couldn't form a set. So you know one video game is $26, right? So if you multiply it by 5, why do I multiply by 5? Because I'm trying to get rid of this 5 sets of video game. Okay, so my total will no longer be 403. Instead, it will be 130. Instead it will be 273 because I subtracted the $130 away. So what it means is this. What I've done is I have tried to remove this, remove this one, remove 5 times of it. Now the total is 273. Okay, so now I will need to know exactly how many sets I can buy with $273. So $273 is the total amount now. Each set cost me $39 because comes in a set of board game and video game, right? So I know I will get a very nice number because the calculator will give me a nice number. But what is the meaning of 7? It means 7 sets. 7 sets of what? 7 sets of one video game, 7 sets of one board game. So there's altogether 7 sets of it. 39, 39, 39, 39, 39, 39, 39. Alright, now if you have 7 sets, how many video games would you actually get? The question is how many video games did the person buy, right? So the person bought 7 sets. 7 sets, each set got 1 video game, right? So that's a total of 7. But that's not all. Remember, we removed the 5 extra video games earlier. We have to add back the video games that we removed earlier. So we will now know the total of video games the person bought, which is 12. Okay, so this is a very something that we've done before in MSP about set. Alright, so removing the extra part and then you see how many sets you can find. Alright, now we come to the next question, last question already, question number 5. This one is about the toothpick that we did at the start of the year. Alright, so usually for part A, it is for you to grab the marks because even if you do not know the pattern, alright, you can simply list it out in order to know what is the pattern. Okay, you can see the pattern is just an addition of 2, right? So if you want, you can actually list it out. This will be 12. This will be 14. This will be 16. This will be 18. And then, of course, 9 will be 20 lah, because it's just an addition of 2. Likewise, you can do the same. This one is a plus 3. This one is a plus 3, right? So the figure number will be, the next one will be 16. The next one will be 19. The next one is 22. The next one is 25. And then, of course, the last figure is figure 9 is 28. So we got it, 20 and 28. So it's just listing out. Alright, so it's just listing out. Now the next thing is, which figure will have 120 dots? Alright, now of course now you have come to a point where you can no longer list until 120. It's going to take a lot of time. If you remember at the start of the year, some of the pairs tried to do the listing method, and in the middle they actually listed or mislead. They didn't list out one of the thing and the whole list was wrong. So there must be a way in which the number of dots is connected to the figure number. Figure number is always a clue to tell us. Alright, so let's try to figure out how does this number become 4. How does figure 2 become 6? How does figure 3 become 8? How does figure 4 become 10 and so on? Alright, so we try to do a few experiments. It's a lot of guess and check. So in my case, when I tried to guess, while you all were doing your test, I actually managed to guess this times 2. Doesn't seem to reach 4, right? So I plus another 2 to see whether it works. Okay, and it seems to work. So I try to see the next one if it works. This is like our cheat code, remember? At the start of the year, we had some people who came out with this cheat code. So it seems to work, right? Figure number times 2 plus another 2. It gives us the same number. We try one more, times 2 plus 2. It gives us 10 also. So meaning to say, the figure number, if we take that figure number and we multiply it by 2, and then with that number, we plus 2, we will be able to get the number of dots. That seems to be the pattern that works. So we always use the figure number as a way to see how it's connected to the number of dots. Alright, so there we have it now. The pattern, the secret code is out. 120 dots, right? This is 120. So we just copy everything down. But we do not know which figure number. So now the question is, figure number we don't know. But we know if we know the figure number, we times it by 2. And then we plus it by 2. We will need to get 120. So we will reverse back the steps to see how to get this number here. Alright, so for us to reverse, what do we need to do? We will reverse by taking the final number 120. Plus 2 becomes minus 2, right? Times becomes divide. So we'll work out this way. Alright, so we start with the plus 2 minus 2 first. Plus 2 becomes minus 2. 118 times 2 becomes divide by 2. And then we will have the answer 59. Okay, so that's how we work out the work backwards to work out what is the figure number. Okay, so figure number is like that. Okay, now the next thing would be find the number of straight lines in figure 135. Okay, now this one is a little tricky, takes a little bit more time to figure out the pattern. How this gets a little messy, so if I erase the table to help us see better. Now we are trying to see how this figure number and this number of straight line can be connected with a cheat code. Alright, a lot of trying here and there. But then with patience actually can be found. This pattern is actually times figure number times 3, then plus a 1. So let's try. 1 times 3 is 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. Right, it seems to work. Figure number 2, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 1, 7. Seems to work also. Next, figure number 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 1, 10. Works also. Figure number 4. 4 times 3, 12. 12 plus 1, 13. So this pattern works. Now, since it works, this helps us to solve C already. It is figure number times 3 plus 1. So a lot of different ways to find a cheat code. Figure number is 135 times 3 plus 1. We will be able to find the number of straight lines. So in this case, 406. Alright, so with that, I've come to the end of this video. And for you to get the cheat code today, you will need to do the attendance code you will need to do some mathematics. Alright, now the attendance code is this. Today, with your register number, you are going to add 5 minus 6. So for example, if your register number is 1, okay, what you need to do is to write out this whole equation for me. 1 plus 5, the magic is plus 5 minus 6. Then work out the answer, you get 0. That's your attendance code. So the attendance code is the entire thing. Okay, if you're registered 2, it will be 2 plus 5 minus 6 equals to 1. Alright, so that is your entire attendance code for register number 2, and so on. Alright, so we'll see you back in class.